Hi everyone, Janie here, and for those of you that know my current situation, you know that this is not my craft room, and this is not my normal camera setup. In fact, this isn't my camera. But today, in my garage, I am going to be making a slimline fall-themed card using the following products. I'm going to be using these Coca Rosa dies from In Love Arts, and this one is the Maple Leaf Wave Border Cutting Die, and this one is the Pumpkin and Leaf Cutting Die set, and I love them both. I will also be using my double scoop gelatos that I haven't used in forever, so this is going to be fun. And these close to my heart, blank slimline cards and envelopes, and of course you can always make your own card bases. These are 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And I will be using some of my staples, 110-pound white cardstock, and a few pieces of pattern cardstock from my stash. Okay, let's get started. For my first card, I cut a piece of that white cardstock to 3.25 inches by 8.25 inches, and I'm just making a mess on it with my gelatos using some fall colors. Basically, I'm just scribbling in the area that I want colored and then smearing it around a little bit with a paper towel. If it was going to be more visible, I would have used a wet paper towel or a baby wipe, but it's perfect for what I'm using this for. And now I'm going to set that aside, and I cut another piece of that white cardstock to 3 3/8 by 8 3/8 inches, and I'm using the Maple Leaf Wave border die. And because there are a lot of intricate areas, I'm going to use a piece of padded envelope, which happens to be a tip that I've shared in one of my Tuesday 2-minute tips and tricks videos. And so I'm just layering that on there, and then I'm going to run that through my Cuttlebug once, and then flip it over and run it through again. And this creates a perfect cut, as you can see right here. There were still a couple of leaves in there, but they just popped right out. And because of my current situation, I don't have all of my crafting tools, so I'm using the cap off a pin to poke all of the little leaves out of the die, and I'm going to hang on to those little leaves because I'm going to use a few of them on the second card. Next, I'm die cutting the pumpkin pieces from a piece of wood grain paper that I cut down to 3.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and you will see why I did that here in a minute. And as you can see, those dies cut beautifully just going through my Cuttlebug once without the need for a shim or anything. And next, I die cut the leaves and stem for the pumpkin out of a piece of cardstock that I've colored with my gelatos. This time, I gave them more of a blended look by using a damp paper towel. And I can tell you, I'm actually happy that I didn't have my distress inks to work with because I am really having fun with these gelatos that I haven't used in like forever. And now let's get back to those pumpkin pieces. I'm using a brown gelato and a blending sponge to go around the edges of each piece to give it dimension. Basically, it's like inking the edges. So, as you've seen, gelatos can be a great alternative to using ink pads. And as you can see, it looks great when the pieces are all put together. And talking about together, it's time to start putting this card together. And now you can see that I'm using the wood grain cardstock that I'd cut the pumpkin out of as the bottom layer because no one is going to see that once all the layers are attached. And next, I'm putting the layers of the pumpkin together using foam adhesive squares to give it a little dimension. And then I'll just glue that to the front of the card with my Beacon 3-in-1 glue. And I add the stem and the leaves, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. But now it needs a sentiment. So to do that, I'm using my Creative Craft Products stamp platform that I absolutely love, 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 and I am so glad that I was able to get it before the other stamp platform company made them take it off the market. There are many things I love about this, and one of them is the open ends so that I can leave that dimensional end of my card off the platform while stamping my sentiment. And actually, I wish I would have done this part as video so that you could see how easily it's stamped in just one try. I really love that Coca Rosa Maple Leaf Wave Border die and the Pumpkin die set from In Love Arts. I think they go together perfectly, and I love how this card turned out. Please leave me a comment below and tell me what you think. And now for card number 2. For this, I'm cutting all 3 pieces of the pumpkin from 3 coordinating pieces of pattern cardstock because I'm going to mix and match them. And I'm also coloring the edges with gelatos like I did on the other one. And while doing that, I decided I like the pattern on the other side of that particular paper, so I'm flipping it over. And as you can see, I mixed and matched the layers and used adhesive foam squares to give them dimension. And then I added the stem and leaves, and here are my beautiful pumpkins that are perfect for tags or embellishments or whatever your imagination comes up with. Or, in this case, another card. So I glued the 3 pumpkins to the front of the Slimline card base and added a few of those leaves from the maple leaf wave border die and added a sentiment, and that card is ready to go. I absolutely love how both of these cards came out, even though I only had a few craft supplies to work with. This just goes to show you that you can still make beautiful cards with limited supplies. Thank you all so much for stopping by and supporting me and my channel. I appreciate you all so much. And if you like the products that I used today, be sure to check out my description box for the links and also a discount code for In Love Arts should you decide to shop there. Happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.